What if the biggest mystery of the F1 season isn't about upgrades, race pace, or tire strategies, but about something we're not being told? Lewis Hamilton's first season in red is turning heads for all the wrong reasons. No podiums, no wins, no signs of that championship run fans were dreaming of. And now even Fernando Alonso is sounding the alarm, with a warning that hits deeper than any lap time. Let's talk about what's really going on at Ferrari, or at least what's being carefully hidden behind the scenes. When Hamilton signed with Ferrari, it felt like something out of a movie. The seven-time champ in the twilight of his career, joining the sport's most iconic team to chase that elusive eighth title. But we're 10 races in, and that script has been flipped on its head. His results? A sprint win in China and a fourth-place finish at Imola. Solid, sure. Legendary? Not even close. He's been outpaced, outraced, and outscored by his teammate Charles Leclerc, who holds the edge in nearly every department: qualifying, Sundays, and championship points. And when Hamilton does speak publicly, it's not about setup tweaks or unlucky weekends. It's cryptic. There's a lot of changes that need to be made in the system. I wish I could tell you what's happening. There's a lot going on in the background. That's not a frustrated driver talking about balance or tire degradation. That's someone hinting at bigger issues, structural ones, internal politics, technical breakdowns, a cultural mismatch. Nobody knows for sure, and that's exactly the problem. If anyone understands the pressure cooker that is Ferrari, it's Fernando Alonso. He came close, agonizingly close, to winning a title with the Scuderia more than a decade ago. He knows the culture, the chaos, the challenge, and even he's puzzled by what's happening with Hamilton. What's wrong with him? I have no idea, Alonso said. It's difficult to give an opinion without all the information. Alonso noted something others are just starting to pick up on. Hamilton's struggles at Ferrari don't look that different from his final years at Mercedes. In both situations, he's been consistently behind his teammate. Back then it was George Russell, now it's Leclerc. The pattern is impossible to ignore. Last year the Mercedes was difficult to drive and Russell was more comfortable. This year seems to be the same. Alonso's point? If the car isn't working for Hamilton's style, and if he's not being heard behind the scenes, that could explain a lot. But still, he stops short of drawing conclusions, because like the rest of us, he's on the outside looking in. What if I told you the man leading Ferrari's F1 operation is standing on the edge, and that every move he makes over the next few races could decide whether he gets to keep the job? Behind closed doors, the pressure is rising, the board is watching, and Fred Vaser knows it. But here's the twist. He's not backing down. He's asking for one thing: time. When Fred Vaser was handed the keys to Ferrari's Formula One team in early 2023, the goal was clear. Restore the Scuderia to its former glory. The team needed structure, discipline, and results. And to his credit, he delivered progress in year one, even notching up race wins in a Red Bull-dominated era. Fast forward to 2025, it's a different scene. Despite bringing in Lewis Hamilton, the team has stumbled out of the gate. Early momentum has evaporated. Podiums have become rare. The constructors' fight has slipped to a battle for third, and now Vaser's job is under serious scrutiny from inside Maranello. One Italian report even claimed he's been given 3 races, Canada, Austria, and Silverstone, to save his job. And here's where it gets intense. Ferrari already made an approach to Christian Horner, the Red Bull boss. He turned them down. Now Antonello Coletta, the man dominating the WEC with Ferrari's 499P, is seen as the next top contender. But Vaser, he's not playing defense. He's pushing back. Amid the media firestorm, Vaser's message has been blunt and unfiltered. Speaking to Sky Italia, he refused to feed the narrative. Journalists don't decide who gets replaced, he said. This kind of talk just throws the whole team into the mud. He insists that his own position isn't the issue. The team's environment and performance are. And while there's talk that Ferrari might simply let his contract expire at the end of the year, he isn't panicking. We have time, Vaser shrugged. There's time. Even Formula One CEO and former Ferrari team boss Stefano Domenicali felt compelled to step in. Speaking to L'Equipe, Domenicali gave a rare public endorsement. "He is doing a great job. I told him personally, and I'll say it here, I believe in him." His advice? Tune out the noise and keep building. But time, that one thing Vaser says he has, is running out fast in Formula One. Ferrari has dropped to third in the standings. Mercedes is charging, Red Bull remains in the mix, and the pressure from the boardroom is only getting louder. Can Vaser survive the firestorm and finish what he started? What if I told you the most explosive radio message from the Canadian Grand Prix never made it to TV, and it could totally flip how we see the clash that took Lando Norris out of the race? This wasn't just a racing incident. This was two teammates, title contenders, and one brutal moment that's already sent shockwaves through McLaren. And now even Red Bull is getting pulled into the drama. As Norris and Piastri thundered down the main straight late in the Canadian GP, contact between the McLaren duo sent Norris flying into the wall and out of the race. Viewers saw the crash. They saw Norris take the blame. And they saw the post-race hug. But here's what they didn't hear on broadcast. Red Bull's race engineer, Gianpiero Lambiase, was quick on the radio to Max Verstappen, and he didn't blame Norris. Piastri put Norris onto the grass and into the wall. Lambiase told Verstappen moments after the incident. His tone was clear. In real time, it sounded like Piastri was the one at fault. That's a very different take from what Verstappen himself said later, and from the consensus that formed publicly. Backstage, Norris took full responsibility, calling it stupid and apologizing to his team. But the fact that even within Red Bull, there was a moment of uncertainty, that's the twist no one saw coming. Just when you thought the Norris-Piastri drama was cooling off, the Verstappen-Russell rivalry was heating back up. Verstappen and Russell had their own tense subplot in Canada, a moment behind the safety car where Max briefly overtook Russell, and Russell immediately radioed it in. Max, not missing a beat, fired back, calling out Russell for dropping too far behind the safety car. Both drivers knew exactly what was at stake. Verstappen was on the edge of a race ban, and Russell's cheeky comment post-qualifying, "I've got a few more points on my license to play with," now feels a whole lot more strategic. Red Bull filed a formal protest, accused Russell of erratic driving, accused him of dropping more than the permitted 10 car lengths, accused him basically of setting a trap. The stewards didn't agree. Russell kept his win, but the fire between Max and George is now back at full flame. Even Jacques Villeneuve, never one to hold back, weighed in on the Piastri-Norris crash. His take? Piastri's move was nasty, nudging Norris left just enough to cause chaos. Inside McLaren, there are questions. Inside Red Bull, there's tension. And heading into Austria, Red Bull's home turf, the fuse has already been lit.